walking around, just looking out of the balcony of our room here at Atlantis. Every day but one, it was pretty bad weather. It's been good weather all the other years we've been here. I think this is our 6th year. But I have a funny Phil Ivey story, and of course everyone likes funny Phil Ivey stories. It kind of related to me getting knocked out of the tournament, really indirectly. I bet you can't even figure out the relation, can you? Alex behind the camera. But what happened was, if you remember the first couple of days I got knocked out of the tournament, I was kind of in a daze because I was real upset. Not as much as the aces get knocked out, but a hand I played where I should have bluffed and I didn't. And so I always stay up late anyway. And let's walk back in. We can't show how messy the bedroom is here. See if you can hold the camera so we don't try to walk into the front room. One of the things that usually happens, because I have such an irregular schedule, I usually get up real late, go to bed real late. We usually don't get maid service for like 3 days. Usually you go 3, you say 2. Well, you go out and get towels each day, but okay, you're saying 2, whatever. Longer than most people, we don't get maid service. But anyway, so now this was all messy. And what happened, here's where the connection comes. I should sit down up there. Here's where the connection comes. Is Phil calls me up. I guess he must have gotten knocked out of the tournament also. It was when playoff games were going on. He wanted to watch a playoff game. And he wanted to play Chinese poker. And he calls me up and he says, come over to where I am. I don't know where he is, some villa somewhere. You can always tell where Phil is because you just check around for the room rates, and it's wherever the room is the most expensive. Although he wasn't staying in that $25,000 a night place they have here, the Bridge Suite. Excuse me, but anyway, I said no, I'm not going to go over there. If you want to watch the game with me and play Chinese poker, you got to come over here. So I told him where I was, and so he comes up here. Oh, but before he did, then I realized our room was really messy, especially when my niece and nephew were here. There was they'd had pizza the night before. They were staying in the next room, and so I said, oh, I better call the maid. So we call the maid. Call maid service, and the maid service doesn't come till Phil shows up. Really kind of a lot worse than this, kind of embarrassing. Actually, that was that messy. Now, I usually think I'm a pretty good tipper, but I don't even know if I am because I was a pretty good tipper when I was, let's say, Phil's age, but times have changed, so I may be a real cheapskate now. You guys can be the judge. Normally in a hotel every day I put $5 on the, well, you're saying 10? Well, yeah, we do 10 if they really have to do something, and 5 like if they just have to change the towels. If it looks messy and they have to do stuff, then I leave $10. So anyway, I don't know how that is. But I was going to give the lady, $10 for coming in here and cleaning up. But before I could give her anything, Phil takes off his standard tip, and he says, "Oh, here's $100." He didn't say anything. He said, "Here." He said, "I know he's not going to tip you enough," and he really. Partly, he does it just to tease me, make fun of me. And then he even said to her, because he likes ethnic humor, because he's Jewish, you won't get enough from him, just joking around. Didn't look like she knew what Jewish when I asked her, and she shook her head no. And then I said, have you seen Borat? And she said, yeah. I said, well, they talk about Jewish people there, because obviously in Borat it's a pretty funny depiction of Jewish people. So anyway, I made a long story out of one that wasn't that long. The bottom line is Phil tipped her $100, obviously a good tip. Now this lady stays in here for a half hour. She starts spraying stuff in the room. Looked like she changed the sheets twice. I don't know what she did. Hanging out, talking to us.
Left a broken fingernail.
Oh yeah, we found a broken finger. I don't know if it was hers in the bed later. But Alex thinks it was some woman I brought in when she wasn't here. Hold on. Hello? I'm fine. Yeah, we don't need new maid service. Anyway, but thank you. The room is great. I don't know. I don't think it was clean, but we don't need it, okay? No, we're fine for towels. We'll be leaving in the morning, so you can do it anytime you want. Yeah, we'll be checking out one day. Excuse me? Yeah, it was great. Okay, thank you. Bye. Anyway, so we keep getting these calls. It's funny this happened during this time, but we keep getting these calls. But let me go in sequence, okay? Anyway, we get this lady stay here, and then Alex comes to the room later, and I tell her the story about how Phil tipped $100, and I said, I know this maid's going to be back tomorrow. But like I said, we don't get room service every day. So we have the do not disturb sign on the door, but of course, we start getting phone calls. You need, in the afternoon, you need your room cleaned? No. Get a second call, you need your room cleaned? No, we're fine. And I told Alex, we're going to have a dedicated maid looking for that $100 tip. Finally, but we have the do not disturb sign. What the maid did is she switched the sign to maid, so she just couldn't stand it anymore. Finally, we get a knock at the door. Now we know it says do not disturb because they already told us when they called, right? That you have a do not disturb. Now she says, "Oh, I noticed you had your maid service sign out, and I wanted to say, maid, I wonder if you need help." So we told her no. But even still, since then, we get so many calls asking for maid service. It's
Thanks, Phil.
yeah, it's amazing. So that's what happens when you run with Phil Ivey.